Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Malaysia, and in this video, I'm sharing my favorite go-to way to manifest. There's a lot of ways to manifest, and in my opinion, it's just the best way, to each its own. But I'm gonna share a way, not only my favorite way to manifest, but this way to manifest actually will help open doors to new opportunities and for new experiences that you desire to have in your life, even if you're not trying to manifest them. One moment, let me check to make sure the sound's on. Gotta do a sound check. That girl got pipes. Okay. Oh, ugh. I just paused it and it just kept going. I'm going to be doing something different for tonight's live stream. I'm going to be doing a live stream back to back. So if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure to join my magical side of YouTube. This channel is dedicated to help people to create the life that they want. And not just with the strategy, but mainly the mindset. Because if your mindset isn't right, no matter how much strategy you have, it's going to be really hard to get to the destination you want to go to. Let me just, okay, I just fix my screen. If you're hopping in this live stream, don't be afraid. Say hi. I love to see your beautiful faces. And if you're watching the replay, give this video a like. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I usually reply to most of my comments. I try to reply to all of them, but if I see it, I'll reply and answer your questions. So, manifestation, law of attraction. I'm sure you've heard of this. And if you haven't, well, I'm not going to go into it, but pretty much law of attraction is when you attract something that energetically you already are, to sum it up. It's putting out an intention and attracting the intention that you put out. There's so many ways to manifest, and I am pretty good at it. So I thought I'd share my favorite way to manifest. And I want to do some more videos on law of attraction and how I manifest, because I think it contributes to a big part of creating the life that you want. There's different words for it. There's different ways to do it. And it's really interesting to incorporate that in your strategy. So definitely let me know what your favorite way to manifest is. So maybe I might do a video on that way to manifest. I've tried scripting. I've done water method. I've done a lot. So my favorite one and what I suggest doing, you know how people say fake it till you make it? My thing is, what I suggest doing, don't fake it till you make it. Embody it until you become it. Embody your best version of yourself until you become her, until you become them. Through doing this, you're not faking anything. Through doing this, you're opening not only a door to new opportunities, but you're broadening your lens. There's only so much you can see under a certain perspective. And through stepping up and showing up as your best version of yourself, you will start to see things that you've never even seen before. You'll start to notice things that you've never noticed before. You'll start to want things, desire things that you've never desired before. You'll start to realize I deserve to be treated like this. You know what? I want this opportunity. You get I call it big chungus energy, but other people call it big dick energy. You get big chungus energy when you tap into your best self. Embody it. Don't fake it. There's nothing fake about it. The person that you want to become, you can become that person. So it's not a matter of faking it. It's a matter of embodying it. And first, before you embody, you have to first identify and visualize who that person is so you can show up as her. In the midst of making big decisions, not even just big decisions, even small decisions, you want to ask yourself, what would the best version of myself do? And if you step into that best version of yourself, you're creating a different path for yourself. You're creating a different life for yourself. You are changing, you're shifting your, I know this sounds crazy, but you really are shifting your reality. And from my experience, I've had a lot of examples of this happening, but for an example, when I had this dream apartment, it was, oh my gosh, it's everything. And I remember I was in college And we would walk by this apartment building all the time. And I would tell my ex, like, that's going to be my apartment one day. I'm going to live there. He's like, yeah, right. You know, it's a luxury apartment in the middle of downtown. You would have thought. Um, and I told my dad, you know, I'm finna get in that building. He was like, you're crazy. You think you're rich. You think you're Kim Kardashian. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a tour. I'm going to embody the person that can afford this apartment. And I scheduled a tour. I saw the apartment. And during the tour, I was informed that there was affordable housing for that apartment building. That's something that wasn't advertised online. That's something that they don't tell people unless you scheduled a tour. So if I didn't step into my big chungus energy, if I didn't embody my best self, I would not have known about that opportunity to live in that apartment, to get on the wait list for that apartment. A lot of people, I tell everyone that I know that's looking for an apartment, and everyone is shooketh at the fact that that apartment building, it's really nice, has affordable housing. No one would have thought that apartment has affordable housing. And the only way that I would have found out is by stepping into my best self and just like going to see it. And when I went to go see it, I just wanted to like, I was literally just, I put on like a rich outfit. Like I was just pretty fancy. I had my cute little fur coat and I had my jewelry. And I was just looking at the place and I was like, don't squinch at the prices because we're my self, you know, like I'm rich. Like it doesn't matter. They showed me like all different floor plans. They're like, this is 2000, this is, and you know, I'm like, okay, we can maybe squeeze that into. I might put this in the top list of my apartment search. And then she brought up, you know, there's also affordable housing. I'm like, wait a damn minute. And that's when I realized that I actually could afford to live there. And I did get to live there. And I might just move back, honestly. But that's just an example of how just embodying your best self will lead to opportunities that you don't even know exist. There's a lot of things that we're telling ourselves that just can't happen for us, that we just can't do. And a lot of those things we're telling ourselves stem from self-limiting beliefs. So to hack that, to hack yourself, and to kind of just like expedite the results you want, embody it until you become it. Clarify who you want to be and embody that person. And if you have friction with embodying that person, do some inner work to see why it's hard for you to embody her. Because if you don't do that inner work, it's gonna like you're not gonna become her. Sometimes that inner work looks like reflection, but sometimes that inner work involves therapy. Sometimes that inner work involves, you know, journaling, looking back at things we don't want to look back on, accepting things that we don't want to accept, rewriting those limiting beliefs. Whatever it is you need to do, do it. Embody her. And really pay attention to when there's friction and try to see if there's a solution for that. Like whenever I have friction, I'll ask myself, what about this like really is difficult? And I'll look at every possibility on how to not have that friction there. If there's a will, there's a way. There's always a book that I'll end up finding that can help me. For an example, something that was getting in the way of embodying my best self was my lack of being assertive. It just felt really uncomfortable speaking up for myself when I was like a teenager. And I mentioned this in some videos before. When I was like a teenager, just all my life until I became like my 20s, even like early 20s. I mean, I'm still in my early 20s, but I've battled like speaking up for myself, and that led to me being bullied. That led to people taking advantage of me. That led to me being harassed, like not just by peers, but people of authority. Literally anyone will take advantage of you if they see they can. You know, not everyone is a manipulator, but I feel like it's in human nature for people to just take what they can get. And if you don't have any boundaries, if you're not like firm in your self-love and making sure you can stick up for yourself and you're not being stepped on, you will get stepped on. And that was a problem that I dealt with, and I'm working on it, and I have done a lot of inner work to fix that. And through speaking up and through not being screwed up, like through just not allowing bull BS, it erased some people out of my life. But guess what? Now that's less stress. That's less problems for me. Less problems for me in the long run. Removing people out of my life that don't respect me. And the same for you. Sometimes there's people in your life that's keeping you from embodying your best self. And I will tell you, when you step into your best self, some people might have a problem with it because it just is awkward for some people to see you become a different version of yourself. Some people truly believe that people don't change, and that's not true. Perhaps most people don't change at a certain age, but people do change. Evolution is well and alive. And when you are evolving, that will make other people uncomfortable. So prepare for that. But the best way to manifest is, but despite that backlash, embody your best self, and you'll eventually become them. I have some notes on my phone of some things I didn't want to miss out. And saying, I'm doing 2 live streams, so I don't want to miss out on the notes. So yeah, play pretend. You'll be surprised on all the things that will happen when you play pretend. I'll share another example. I think, when was this? It was like a few years ago. It was like right in the beginning of starting my business, and I was working at a coffee shop, and my laptop broke and I needed a new one, and I just was broke. And I didn't know what to do, but I knew that I wanted to be on my YouTube grind again. I knew I wanted to like be a little bit more consistent, and there was no way I felt like I would be able to do that without a computer to edit with. And I wanted a MacBook ideally, but I was like, I'll take anything that I can edit with. And I just told myself, you know what? No matter what, I'm going to find a way to edit this summer. Don't stress about it. Stop stressing about it. It's going to happen. There's no way I'm not going to have something to edit with. So I just embodied that. I stopped stressing. I kept telling myself, we're going to get a computer before, the summer. And the opportunity presented itself. I went into errands with literally only $25 in my pocket just to look. And I didn't have any intention to buy. I just wanted to see. My credit was not the best. And I'm like, there's nothing I can get a down deposit on with $25 because most of it is like $200 down, $100 down. And I went in and I noticed that they all of a sudden had MacBooks. I'm like, oh my God, they got MacBooks. Maybe when next check come in, I could, And I think actually this was before I got my job at the coffee shop, and I was job hunting. This is like right after I dropped out of college. I was like job hunting, and I wanted a MacBook so bad. I wanted a computer so bad. And I went into Aaron just to look, and the sales rep was like, "Oh, you like that? You like that computer? It's a really good MacBook. We just have MacBooks, recently we got them, and yeah, they're really nice." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really nice." I'm just like looking at it. I'm literally just looking at it and like picturing what it would be like to have it. And she's just like, how about we take it home today? And I'm like, I would, but I only have $25. The sign says like $100 down. She's like, okay, we can do that. And I'm like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, we can work with that. And I've never heard of that before. She was just being really nice, or maybe that is a thing Erin says, but I was shooketh and I left the store with my MacBook. Even though it broke after I was done making all the payments and had to buy another one, but that's a whole nother story. But I got the MacBook because I was embodying someone that could buy the MacBook. And if I wasn't embodying my highest self, if I didn't decide that it was gonna happen, I wouldn't have went into the store. I would have told myself, let's not go into the store because I'm gonna be upset because I can't afford a computer. So why am I gonna torture myself? No, instead I was like, "Let me look because I'm gonna get one, so I should go and see which one I'm gonna buy." And I ended up leaving that very visit at the store with a MacBook. My mom was shook if too. She was like, "What in the world? How did you get a Mac?" So a lot can happen through embodying. And I want to challenge you for a week. I want to challenge you, not even just for a week, but just start thinking of the best case scenarios because we automatically think of the worst case scenarios. We automatically think of the worst things that's going to happen. And a lot of us make decisions based off of the worst things that are going to happen. Fear is, I saw this quote, is like F stands for FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Things that have not happened yet appearing real. Fear is pretty much believing in something that hasn't happened yet. It could happen, but basing your whole life decisions on something you're scared of happening, imagine what would happen if you based your life decisions on the best case scenario. Imagine if you bet on yourself. It's like not everything's going to be the worst case scenario. We're conditioned to think the worst is going to happen all the time. And that keeps us thinking small. That keeps us living small. And the only way to break out of the shell, I don't want to say matrix. What is another word for that? The only way to break out of your reality that you don't want, the only way to break out of the person that you no longer want to be, not saying that you're like who you are isn't good or anything, but in order to break out of the reality you no longer want, you need to embody your best self. Oh my God, I got an eyelash in my eye. I can't even think. I, I, why, why? My eye just got an eyelash in it. Never thought I'd do it. Whatever happened to me? Why did I pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, boo? Got an eyelash in my eye so soon. Oh. Rum ba ba bum. It's still in my eye. Okay, all right. I gotta just keep swimming because I got another live stream to do. Okay, we're Gucci. The struggles of being a woman. Men, in case you're wondering, it's not easy. Anyway, yeah, pretty much just think of the best thing that could happen. Stop thinking of like, I think of the worst thing that can happen sometimes still, and I have to catch myself, and I mean, it's okay to think about it, but don't just think about the worst that can happen, also think about the best that can happen. If you're gonna think about the worst that can happen, at least also think about the best, and, like, balance out, like, the realism of it all, because most times the worst that can happen is something you're thinking that literally is super, like, the odds of it actually happening is super slim, and that's keeping you from living your best life because 'cause you're letting the possibility of the worst possible thing happening to you all the time get in the way of it, like BFFR, be effing for real. Try not to cuss in my videos. Oh my god, I'm malfunctioning. Oh, I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. Imma work harder. Ooh. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna cut this live stream. We're gonna tap into the next one. I'm gonna go into the bathroom and fix my eye. Well, let me make sure there's no other points I need to cover. Yeah, I'm squinting my eye because that's how determined I am to make sure you're manifesting your best life. That's how committed I am to this channel. Get into it. Not me about to choke on my eyes. Okay. So yeah, just just do that. Just think of the best case scenario, play pretend, don't fake it till you make it, embody it until you become it. and I'll see you in the next video in literally like 15 minutes because I'm doing two in one day because I'm just about that life. Get into it.